Hey everyone, it's Pastor Paul Krampitz coming to you once again from my study here at Bethany Lutheran Church. I want to show you this. You probably can't read what's inscribed on it. It is a pretty hefty apple, and inscribed on it is my name, Excellence Award, CAPSEF 1995. CAPSEF is the Connecticut Association of Private Special Education Facilities. And in 1995, I was honored to be one of several people that were named Teacher of the Year, a Special Education Teacher of the Year working in private settings. So this is a reminder for me as it sits on my desk of my time as a special educator. It's also a reminder for me of a biblical story, the story of the fall in Genesis. And I think we all know that story, how there is this tree that God forbids Adam and Eve to eat from. Eve is tempted by the serpent to do so, and she takes the fruit of that tree and brings it to Adam, and he too consumes it. Now, in a lot of Sunday school versions of that story, the fruit is an apple, right? But apples, in fact, would not have been indigenous to that region in that period of time. Most biblical scholars speculate that this fruit would have been either a persimmon or perhaps a pomegranate, but most certainly not an apple. So, what is the story of the fall? It's the story that we derive this notion of original sin from. Basically, the idea is there is something that seems to be hardwired into us as human beings that wants to rebel against God. We have this gift of free will. We can make our own choice about things in life. If we didn't have free will, we would be merely puppets operated by God. But God gives us the gift of free will. And because of original sin, or I prefer to call it our imperfect human nature, very often we make bad choices. Luther talked about sin in terms of being curved in on oneself. Incurvatus in se is the Latin phrase he used. The idea being that we are so focused on ourselves, turned inward, that we lose sight of God and lose sight of our neighbor. Luther used to like to use earthy terms to describe that, so he called sinners navel gazers. Right? We're focused in on ourselves, on our bellies, thought to be the seat of our desires and our own needs, to the exclusion of those around us and to the exclusion of God. Thanks be to God that in Christ, our sinfulness is taken on by Jesus, carried on the cross, and each day we are saved again from ourselves. We're saved from sin, but we're saved really from ourselves. God turns us to God and turns us to neighbor. That's what justification is all about. We are set right. We are made righteous, to use another kind of churchy term, which is really to have a right relationship with God and a right relationship with others, which means not being turned inward, but rather being turned outward. So, all of this from A Little Apple from 1995. Until next time, Pastor Paul saying goodbye and God bless.